Hello, Pisces, Pisces rising, and Pisces moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for your week of May 22nd, 2017. And a quick reminder for you Pisces people out there, remember, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. That is where we have you able to schedule your own session, order a downloadable video file. It's all there. And so, let's get started. What is going on with your astrology this week? Well, this week is all about Venus, the planet of love, harmony, romance, sensuality, as well as popularity and good luck. And when we have Venus going through your second house of earned income all week, you can expect all the good luck and good fortune to actually be on the work front. But it can go other places as well. So what's going on in the beginning of the week? Well, we've got the moon forming a tight conjunction with Venus in this earned income sector, and a void is being filled. That's what I've been telling everyone. That's how these planets add up. It's like a void being filled. And this could be a really good boost to your pocketbook, especially for those of you who've been trying to find ways to drum up money or make up for lost money. The moon conjunct Venus in the earned income sector could indicate some kind of surprise opportunity, maybe even a gift or something you're selected for that you could cash in on. Later on in the week, we do have Venus in this area forming a bit of a tense square to Pluto, currently retrograde in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And usually when Pluto's retrograde, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have in our friendship and social networking area. It talks about reuniting with people and friends from our past. But when Venus and Pluto retrograde square, there may be a reunion opportunity that does kind of create a bit of a challenge on the work front, whether it's an expensive opportunity that we may actually end up spending some money on, or we may find ourselves in a bit of a clash of ideals or a conflict of interest when it comes to our conversations with this person or how well we're going to be relating with each other once again. Remember, be friends first and co-workers and partners second. Whatever's going on here is a bit more complicated than I mean, it's even complicated for me to try and suss out. There may be something coming up from the past that does require you to go back and maybe give credit where credit is due to a friend who, you know, you no longer work with anymore, but that's a different story as well. That's still more about the friendship than it is your business. For your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Trickster. And the Trickster could indicate a situation where this week you need to be careful about people who are really kind of going out of their way to make you feel extra good about something you know is wrong, or something that you know is not working, or not resonating with you. You know, the card of the Trickster can indicate a situation where somebody's trying to sell you on bad behavior, or possibly even sell you on something that you might feel is immoral or unethical. And the Trickster card can indicate that sometimes that's, well, we call that peer pressure. You know, whether it's peer pressure from people in our school group, peer pressure from our neighbors, peer pressure from family, or even peer pressure from business associates. And this week you may be getting a lot of that, and they may do a very, very good job of trying to argue why this is a special case, but you still need to stick to your guns. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we have the Death card upright. And I'm smiling because it's a good card to get here. Because the Death card indicates a door swinging open for a lot of you Pisces people. And for those of you who are currently looking for a new job, if you've been unemployed, the Death card very simply does indicate the end of an era, and in this case an end of an era of looking for a job, looking for a new opportunity, looking for extra money. That era is coming to an end because you're going to find it. The Death card upright can also indicate a situation where maybe a door is shut on you, much to your dismay, only to find out that a better way is actually also available. I love this card because it does present that imagery so well. You know, sometimes this can indicate a situation where we don't get the promotion we wanted, we get something better. In fact, sometimes with the Death card we do see that. We don't get what we want, we get better than what we want. And Pisces, you're supposed to be enlightened here, so don't be those people who's like, I don't want better, I want what I want. Don't do that. It's not a good look. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the Seven of Swords upright. Okay, trickiness. Trickiness, tricksters, all of that all around. And the Seven of Swords upright can indicate here it may become very well known to you that a friend or a relative or associate you contact regularly is kind of doing something a bit deceitful, doing something a bit shady. And I'm not sure if this is happening to you or you're catching them in the act doing it to somebody else. But the Seven of Swords upright definitely does say you are catching them in the act. And what may actually be very interesting about this is that this is actually all among people you like. There is no clear cut and dry, this is deserved, this is not deserved, this is why they're in this situation, this is why they're not in that situation. It can make things very, very complicated to have to address these kinds of issues. Of course, you can wash your hands of it entirely if you don't care, but that depends on how good a friend you're going to be to the person who's getting screwed over. So, take what you see very seriously. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Six of Pentacles reversed. And the Six of Pentacles reversed can very much say, well, your challenge this week is to learn when to turn things down. To start to say no. Whether it's turning down things that, people are asking you for. Maybe people are asking for handouts, they're asking for second chances, they're asking for loans, they're asking for way too much. You may be feeling like, well, you know what, if this person just got enough, they would change their ways. This person just got enough love, this person just got enough chances. And a second chance, and a second chance, and all of that. That doesn't always work, and it certainly won't work concussively in the span of a 1 week reading. And this week it's important to kind of see where the tough love may actually be necessary. And that can be a challenge, especially if that person is a relative, if it's one of our kids, if it's, our boyfriend, if it's our best friend, whatever. Still important. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Justice card reversed. Oh my god, these people. Alright, trickster energy, very much a theme going on here. And the Justice card reversed is pretty loaded when it comes to the love area, okay? Because it doesn't mean what a lot of people are probably thinking it means. Because with the Justice card reversed, it can indicate a situation where, yes, people are doing things that are immoral, unethical, but also at the same time, you may be having to talk your partner or your crush out of buying into this, or buying into this idea, or thinking it's okay, or excusing it themselves. What if they're tempted to do something crazy, or profoundly stupid, or risky or dangerous? How are you going to convince them not to do that? How are you going to work on that? If you're the one I'm warning about, you already know how I feel about people in this situation, so if you're the one who's doing the Justice card reverse, just watch this video again, you know what I'm saying. But the Justice card reverse is saying that be careful this week, because a lot of peer pressure, again, is kind of making you go against your morals and ethics, but again, a lot of these people might be doing it because they're running scared. This can also be people tend to do that. People get less scrupulous when they feel like their back's up against a wall. Your partner may be tempted to do something that is wrong. And you know what? They could be that Seven of Swords. That could be the person you're like, look, you can't do that to your brother. You can't do that to your friend. You can't do that. Talking a person, from the brink of the dark side, so to speak, can be a tough thing to do. And they may not get what they want. And they may be angry because you're denying them relief, and you're offering them a long-term solution instead of immediate relief. Good for you. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.